Hi, I'm Paul Ryan, and welcome to America's Heartland, coming to you today from the National Agricultural Center and Hall of Fame located here in Bonner Springs, Kansas, 18 miles west of Kansas City. It was chartered by Congress in 1960 and signed into existence by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. It's a place to learn all about the history of agriculture and how it touches our everyday lives. And we'll have more from this location in just a bit. But first, we'll meet some Nebraska farmers who are bringing in a harvest of wheat that will soon be making its way to your dinner table.
There's no mystery about the major Heartland crop growing in a state where residents are nicknamed Cornhuskers.
What, do you think we should try some today? Yeah, I think it might work today.
Come fall, Delford Schlake uses his combine to harvest corn. But corn's not his only crop. Experience has taught him that crop diversity is key to staying afloat in a business laden with uncertainties.
There's kind of an old saying, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So yes, in that respect, if you have dry weather or you have a hailstorm, you might get your wheat hailed out, but then maybe you have your corn crop survive.
Most of it's still standing pretty good.
Wheat is one of the crops that Delford raises on his 1,900-acre farm in southeast Nebraska.
Well, it looks pretty good.
This year, the weather was good and Delford's crop did not get hailed out.
It might be a few days off.
So in early July, he heads to his fields to harvest the winter wheat that was planted last fall.
There's a shrunken kernel there. That'll blow out the back.
There's 6 classes of wheat. In each of those classes of wheat, there's different varieties, but each wheat has a different function.
Wheat is a critical element in the U.S. agricultural economy, and it plays an important role in the diets of people around the world. 1 acre of the grain can produce enough wheat for more than 2,000 loaves of bread. Wheat is a major farm product in the U.S. today, but it wasn't until the late 1800s that wheat cultivation really flourished in America. That's when a hardy strain known as Turkey Red was introduced by Russian immigrants who settled in the Midwest. Descendant varieties of that early wheat are raised across the heartland. Hard red winter wheat, grown here on Delford's farm, is one of the major wheat crops in the United States.
Winter wheat is planted in the fall. For our location, that is the best, most adaptable for this area of the country. From here on, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and into Nebraska is winter wheat.
Delford's is a family farm. His kids are grown and gone, but live close enough to lend a hand when needed. His youngest son, Brent, is a commodities broker and risk management specialist. At harvest time, you'll find him home.
A lot of the off time on the farm I can spend working, and then in like the busy season during planting and harvesting, and a lot of time during the summer I can spend working with the family farm.
Well, family farm is usually you and your sons and your wife working on the farm. Well, that definition of family farm is probably gradually changing.
Both of the Schlake boys have college degrees in areas that help when it comes to agriculture. Oldest son David is the sales manager for a seed company in Lincoln. That is, when he's not lending his professional skills to the family operation.
I'm their agronomist, their crop consultant, help with the planting. They buy seed for me, so I'm their seed supplier. And then I also, whenever I get a chance, I'll help with the day-to-day operations and help when I can.
Whether it's raising wheat, corn, or soybeans, David and Brent bring with them modern approaches to farming. Take technology, for example. In this case, a gadget that delivers details on what they need for planting, spraying, and weeding.
Oh, what'd you find out?
Well, mainly just grass out there, no insects. We have some volunteer corn, and there's just a few extra other spots that are where we have a few more weeds than normal, and I marked them on the map.
Delford and his sons believe that technology has given them new options in farming decisions.
What about that corn out there, volunteer corn?
I wouldn't worry about
GPS systems to more effectively plant and harvest, or yield monitors to track productivity.
So for the most part, everything looks good, and just need it to rain.
I suppose back when my dad was farming, he thought horses, that, you'd always be farming with horses, but you have to be open-minded. There's going to be something you don't know about that will change.
Once his wheat has been harvested, Dilford will move on to the next cycle, rotating crops to get nourishing feed for his cattle.
I'll have to maybe plant some Sudan grass or something in the wheat after I combine the wheat, and maybe get some cattle feed for that. So each year is different, and each year you have to try to guess what the markets are going to be, or what what you need for the winter for the cows.
That ever-changing landscape of input costs and commodity prices is the reality for farmers and ranchers all across the Heartland.
Farmers are always kind of like holding their breath. We know that the price of wheat can go down, but we don't know that the price of fuel will go down, the price of fertilizer will go down. It seems like when those prices go up, they tend to stay.
As for the future, the seasons and crops may change, but Dilford believes his direction was set a long time ago.
I grew up on the farm, and it's a way of life for me. It's a good life.